Wow. Boy, am I a dumbass. All right, since no one's watching, I'm gonna tell you about some super secret shit I've been working on that I just wanted to make sure I knew what I was talking about before I talked about it, which makes me a rare individual. So my boy Josiah, first of all, sent me these things. They're Tana River sleep gummies. This really helped me fall asleep and had really peaceful sleep. So what I've been doing lately that I haven't talked about yet is ashwagandha. I wanted to try it out for a few months, see if I liked it. Ashwagandha is an anti-cortisol thing. So after the gym, it helps you relax. So, and then also megadosing magnesium, adding these guys in along with the melatonin. It's really strong. If I reformulate Dragon Dreams, so let's be real, I'm going to reformulate Dragon Dreams. I'll probably include CBDs in there and a shit ton of magnesium and ashwagandha. I think that I'll add 2 Dragon Dreams because Dragon Dreams is strong as fuck. People love Dragon Dreams, but the label was so dark, it should have been called Dragon Nightmares. Oh. It's definitely some Vagar looking motherfucker on the cover of that product. I turned the brightness up so I'm less old. That's for all the fucking haters who can't tell the difference between diet face and aging, and they make up stories. That's some basic shit. Now, more complicated stuff. I tried out MOTS-c finally. MOTS-c is good for regenerating the liver. It also helps with the mitochondria DNA. It's kind of weird. Instead of doing daily injections, apparently it degrades quick. Shoot the whole bottle as soon as you reconstitute it. So what I found was that the next day you have great energy. So on day 0, you shoot it. The next day you would have great energy, and that lasts for about 2 to 3 days. So basically, if you did push-pull legs off, I would take it on your off day. So your push-pull legs, you'd have your most energy. It's fucking amazing. You feel like didn't add carbs, didn't have less sleep because if something happened, didn't take away cardio, didn't take away steps. Just adding in MOTS-c changes your life. It's as powerful of an effect as a reload day, carb reload day. So now, it doesn't necessarily mean it helps with fat loss. It makes the mitochondria more efficient. It's kind of like the opposite of DNP. But if you were to stack MOTS-c with DNP, then you would funnel more energy through the mitochondria and lose more of it as heat. So in the winter, when you have a lot of fat to burn, if you want to start your diet, let's say January 1st, then DNP and MOTS-c might be a good combination. Now, the thing is MOTS-c is very expensive, but it's probably safe. DNP is considered to be extremely dangerous. Really, if you microdose it, if you do 50 in the morning, 50 at night, you won't even notice you're on it. So people really overreact to the DNP. Now, that doesn't mean you shouldn't get blood work, and I'll do your blood work. I'll order your blood work, check it out, and I will see if it's killing you. And if it's killing you, we'll stop using it. Oh, I got some questions here. I forgot about you guys. I wanted to just get my shit out. So what I basically was trying to say was, in summation, I'm going to do some more videos on some supplements I tried out to make this prep better. And now that I've field tested them for about a month or so, I have some opinions and I can do videos about it because I don't like doing videos on shit I never tried. I talked about semaglutide even though I never tried it, but yeah, I mean, really, sleep, obviously, I'm not using Trendless Prep because it fucks with my sleep. I'm not using caffeine because it fucks with my sleep. Sleep is a premium, most important thing of all. As long as you get sleep, you get energy. Well, I would say MOTS-c is like better than sleep. All right, now, let's see what you guys have to say. What's up, dog? Oh, I'm supposed to click this. Boom. Howdy. Hey, did you see that I talked about your CBD? Yeah. I need more because I ate like 4 yesterday. This is what I was afraid of. There's 3 grams of sugar in these fuckers. So I like, boom, boom. What's cool is it causes anterograde amnesia. So like the last 3 episodes of House of the Dragon were so fucking bad. Luckily, I don't remember them. So I'm not traumatized by how fucking awful they were. I mean, after the fight between Aemond and Aegon, this show's been worthless garbage ever since. Walter Sharpley. Let's see. What's up, Todd? Question, heard you were getting up to use the bathroom almost every hour due to high mast. Why would you make this shit up? No, it has nothing to do with mastron. GH? No. Prostate? No. All of the above? No. Fucking, I hate people like that. It's because I drink water because I'm hungry. Use some fucking common sense. Why would mast cause you to pee more? Why would GH? Why is the answer to everything drugs? It's like these drug addicts who are obsessed with drugs. Meanwhile, I just talked about supplements I started. But drugs are not always the answer or the reason. Usually there's common sense stuff like sodium, water, carbohydrates, effort, and sleep. That's almost always the answer. You are tan as fuck. Yes, because of the drugs that I don't like, melanotan. Let's see here. Your thoughts on cycle HCG? If your girl likes having big door knockers, slap her clit when you fuck her doggy style, then use it. Otherwise, it doesn't really do anything. Well, here's the thing about the oil. So let's use some common sense here. People are like, oh, you don't want sugar-free. You don't want sugar. How about some? I'm going to get you the oil. Okay. 1 milliliter oil has 9 calories, right? So that's the same as the 2 grams of sugar has 8 calories. So it doesn't matter. It's the point is plus I used oil-based CBDs before and it really fucked up my digestive tract. Did anyone else take this as antagonistic? Like, I read this as kind of like, you're a stupid asshole for using Master on GH. You fucked up your prostate. Or is it all 3 of these? And that's why you pee every hour. Like, you don't know what you're doing. That's basically what I read this as. Now, other people might have thought this was like some innocent question. But to me, it was an asshole question. Let's see. Thoughts on DHB? I've never used it. It's supposed to be really liver toxic. It's great on paper. That's about it. I've heard horrible things about its liver toxicity. Ooh, let me put this shit away. It's just looking at it. It's making me. Boy, does it taste like shit, too. Oh, is it a psych out? Oh, my God. It's fucking horrid. It's got this horrible aftertaste, and it makes everything taste like shit afterward. No more questions, huh? All right. All right. So there's no question here. It's just some stats like 135 over 50 blood pressure on, what do you call it? 80 milligrams telmisartan, 4 units of GH, 100 tests, and 400 mastron. Sounds like you're on way too much fucking telmisartan. I mean, why the fuck are you on so much telmisartan? Thoughts on upper-lower rest split? Might be highly effective for a low-level amateur bodybuilder below genetic limit. Yeah, I think so too. I mean, I think about shit like that all the time. Or you could go upper, lower, upper, lower, upper, lower, off. Or upper, lower, yeah. Upper, lower, upper, off, lower, off. There's so many different ways. Upper, lower is a great thing because you just do your back, then you do your chest, then you do like some other back, then some other chest, then you do a rear delt, then a push shoulder exercise, and then you could basically put on your lower day, you could put middle delts, bis, and tris. How's prep going? Any updates? I would say so. So for 12 weeks, everything's been in but my glutes. My glutes still aren't in. So I might as well have just done all those other shows. It's pretty frustrating. I basically lost like 15 pounds, and none of it's coming out of the ass fat. It's just coming from somewhere. My lifts are going up in the gym, so I don't think I'm losing muscle. I'm definitely losing glycogen flatter. I was down to 176. A lot of haters saying I can't do classic because I look like a 212 guy. Trust me, when I bring my waist in and I flatten out, I look very classic. By the time I'm 182, I'm classic motherfucker. I can put some pictures up and I look classic as fuck. The pictures that you guys see are me over 200 pounds, hitting particularly bodybuilding focused poses, not classic poses. What do you take for prostate health, if anything? Nothing. Take nothing for prostate health. Don't give a fuck. All right. Mr. Gergerbowl. I'm at 4 now, 8 GH a day, 8 before bed. When can I start to feel some CTS? I don't know what CTS is. Carpal tunnel syndrome? Or is it really different per person? Yeah, dude, you're not using very much, and not everyone gets carpal tunnel syndrome. I don't understand why people think that about side effects. The side effect of smoking is lung cancer. What percentage of people who smoke get lung cancer? Less than 1%. So just because it's a known side effect doesn't mean you're going to get it. It's like a culture of hypochondriacs. Nice, thanks. Okay. So you just jump to the conclusion that the answer always has to be the drugs, that the drugs are bad and all side effects have to be due to drugs. It can't possibly that someone's drinking water because they're hungry. All right. Wait, really? Josh, I don't know what you're referring to. Oh, that I'm not taking anything for prostate? Yeah, I don't take shit for prostate. I don't give a fuck. What? It's never changed. It's been 0.04 PS for the last 15 years. And then if I ever get prostate cancer, just get the fucker cut out. No big deal. What's a stronger cycle and more hair safe? 200 test, 200 deca, 100 mass versus 100 test. I don't understand what the fuck this question's asking. The only drug that's guaranteed to make you lose hair is testosterone. The lower the testosterone, the lower the DHT. The lower the DHT, the more hair. Masteron, what is called a DHT derivative? It is not DHT. There's nothing else to know about it. Just use as little test as possible, or use topical dutasteride. 10 to 20% of smokers. I thought it'd be higher. Okay, yeah. Love the channel. Thanks. You're welcome, buddy. Yeah, people associate. It's weird. Like Tren, like when I talk about like the gyno video, the DECA video, I'm like, don't do DECA. I'm like, under the context that you don't want gyno, that doesn't mean 100% of people who use DECA get gyno, maybe 50%. But if you really don't want it, don't use that drug. Let's see here. Any recommendations for DHA? Yeah, 4 grams a day. I tested my megas and they had mid-range EPA but low DHA. Any recommendations on where I should be at is higher, better than mid-range? Retesting this week. There's brands all over Amazon. Just type in DHA. I think Now or NutriCost has DHA. I've got some over there. I'm really lazy and I don't want to go pick it up. But if you watch my videos about this subject, we talk about the exact brands. Like, I think Fireball, which is a weird name. If you get it direct from the company, it's really high in DHA. Anything marketed towards men is going to have higher DHA. Thanks. Oh, zip. What's up? Looking good. Thank you, sir. Because people tell me, well, people on the internet say, oh, the Masteron made you old. Unless they're watching the GH Think reel on Instagram, then it's, oh, the GH made you old. It's like, how about I'm just not, I don't have fat fuck face. I'm not a fat fuck. I don't have fat fuck face anymore. I was fat fuck for like 3 years. Now I'm not. I've been taking DHA focused omega now. Bill W. Hey, Todd. Hope you're doing well. How many hours apart should I pin GH sub Q? I don't believe in sub Q. I believe intramuscular. And it's 6 hour refractory period. So that means every 6 hours. Is 30 minutes cardio pre-day bulky? I think it's a lot. I don't think you have to do 30 minutes every day. You could do 10 minutes before you lift, maybe 10 minutes of a walk after every meal, or hit cardio for 15 minutes twice a week. Those things should cover it. Rocking the death face. Yes, it is called death face. Brian Zappella, do you have recommendation protocol for using GABA? I've been using 300 milligrams a night for a couple of months, besides missing a night a week or so. I noticed less soreness. Yeah, it's really good for sleep. GABA is the amino acid neurotransmitter. That is what anti-anxiety meds or sleep medications are based on. That there's a GABA, I believe A, B, and C are 1, 2, and 3 receptors. The anti-anxiety one is the first receptor, and the sleep one's the second receptor. And basically, if you just take GABA powder, it's not a pharmaceutical. It's easy to get. It's legal, and it works like taking Valium and Ambien at the same time. And I put it in the Dragon Dreams, and it's fucking legal. Your channel is why I tested DHA in the first place. No one talks about where people should be in the reference range. Thanks for the advice. I'll see where I end up. The accent. Yeah. I don't know. I was just in a good mood. And so when I saw a Spanish name, I started doing a German accent because it makes no fucking sense. Like he fled to Argentina in 46 and changed his name from Zeppelin to Zappella, and then his son is Brian or something like that. But it still has the accent. Sure does. That was Indian? Oh, man. Well, yeah. What's my favorite what, Josh? Josiah, what's my favorite what? Italian. I mean, yeah. To someone like, I can't say that. All right, well, yeah. Spain and Italy are both peninsulas sticking into the Mediterranean, which to someone from the United States are not very far apart. I think the populations of Spain and Italy combined is like less than the population of California. Let me look. Like we got one state that's like the size of all of Europe, and that's Texas. How many people live in Italy? Get it. Only 59 million. All right. How many people live in España? 47 million. So it's 100 million people between Italy and Spain. So they're bigger than I thought. Each of those countries have a higher population than any one state. All right, here. Your channel is why. Oh, remember that. What's my favorite D&D campaign? Like campaign setting? Oh, I would say Dark Sun was a really good one. Dark Sun was fucking intense, especially if like you're young and innocent. That'll fuck you up good. But Menzoberranzan's also intense. Fucking the drow politics and the houses, the 40 houses. It's kind of like Dune, but it's subterranean, not in space. Thank you for the input. I don't even know what the fuck I said, dude. He should have just joined NASA like the rest of them. Oh, yeah. Project Paperclip. All right. Have you... Oh, here he is. Have you observed negative shift in people's fractionated panels when people increase their anabolic doses? I don't know what that is. Is that like blood count? I don't know what a fractionated panel is. I probably should, but I don't remember. I haven't been to school in 20 years for lipids. Oh, okay. Have you observed a negative shift? Not really. I noticed that people's panels go to shit when they're fat and when they don't do cardio. But if you're in shape and you do cardio, everyone's got good cholesterol. It doesn't matter how much gear they run. So I get a lot of guys that are over 40. They have a shit lifestyle and they're in way too much gear. They've got shitty cholesterol. I give them cardio and a diet, and everything is better. Good evening from Greece. What's up, man? I've been thinking about gyros every fucking day. Every day. Every day. Every day. Every day. I'm like, it's like a Greek kebab. It's like, oh my God. And by the way, the fucking kebabs in Turkey are so good. I can only imagine what they taste like in Greece. I know they're called gyros in Greece, but I've been thinking about Greek food so much. There's this Persian place near my house that has a lamb dish that's more like a Greek lamb dish, I think, but it's still, I've been thinking about lamb and gyros every fucking day. Every day. Every day. Every day. Are we talking about Italy or Spain? Time to revoke Europe's continental status. Well, it's a continent, but here's what I don't like is that people, when I was in Turkey, people are like, where are you from? I'm like, United States. And they're like, America. I was like, there's 3 Americas. There's North America, Central America, and South America. America is a continent, and Canada and Mexico are technically their own countries, although they wouldn't exist if it wasn't for the United States. Someone would have invaded Canada and someone would have invaded Mexico. Baldur's Gate has me all fired up for D&D again. About halfway through Curse of Strahd before half the party had kids. Oh my God. They've got a Curse of Strahd module for Baldur's Gate. Dude, oh. Ravenloft was such a good fucking setting. We're going to have so much fucking fun in Texas. Even if I bomb the show, not that I think I'm going to, but even if I do, we're going to have an awesome time. So even if this is one thing I assume, if I have a lot of really high quality content that I shoot with Josiah over the week that we're in Texas, and I happen to look good on stage, but I don't place well, no one's going to give a fuck because it's going to make a sweet video and they're going to learn a lot. I'm like, oh, this is what I did right. This is what I did wrong. I'm going to do a show in a month, the Masters World Championship, and I'm not going to do the stuff I know I did wrong. I'm going to try this peak again and try to nail it. And then the next video will be that much more useful. And then the Florida Pros a week after that. And so the point is that the first show of the season, it's your best attempt. It's like your first round out of the sniper. You know, like if you miss, you make some adjustment to your scope and you try again. And then just like your water fluctuates, just like the wind blows. I mean, basically peaking is like getting a bullseye with a sniper rifle. And how fat you are is how hard it is to peak. It's kind of like the distance. So sniping someone at point blank range or like at 10 feet away would be a lot easier than a mile away. Just like peaking at 3% body fat is a lot easier than peaking at like 7% body fat. Any input on BPC 157? Do you mean Brett the Butcher Butcher Bomb? The Butcher Bomb's fucking amazing. My knee feels great. And I started getting really dry because I've really been crushing my estrogen because I'm like a week and a half out or something. I don't know how much I'm out. Josiah knows how much I'm out. I think I don't fucking know. I don't know what day it is. I just know that it ends in Y. But the Butcher Bomb really helped with my elbows, which are starting cracking. Also, my supraspinatus is starting to get dry. This is why I don't crush my estrogen till the very end. Is I should have had a lower estrogen way earlier so that the ass fat could have been targeted sooner. I shouldn't have waited until I was like 12 weeks out. I should have 20 weeks out, brought my estrogen down to like 40. I didn't realize I'd function so well on an 8 or an 11 estrogen. And that 8's still within range. Right now, I think my estrogen's like crushed. Like it's probably like 5 or 6. And I'm just a little bit dry in the joints. You don't want to be so low you can't lift. Zip, zip. Any tips on Any tips on improving insulin resistance apart from the obvious as doing cardio, staying lean, having good diet, morning glucose running pretty high? I think might just need sleep apnea. Yeah, it could be sleep apnea. It could be total body inflammation. Inflammation from any cause is going to, like, you could be training too hard. You could be taking your sets to failure. People are like, oh, training to failure is the only way. It's like, yeah, but then your total body inflammation's up, and it's going to cause heart disease and joint pain when you're older. And inflammation also causes insulin resistance, and then you're not going to be able to absorb your food. So then you're not going to grow from that. So it's anything that adds to inflammation is going to drive up your insulin resistance. Missing sleep because you have sleep apnea, you're too fat, you might have to mini cut. One thing people don't do is they don't do steps and they don't do berberine. So my algorithm is steps, berberine. If you have to start using Lantus to keep it under 80, then do that. And after a few months of that, though, if you have to keep creeping it up to where you're over 40 Lantus, now you're going to cause even worse insulin resistance. Now you probably are so fat you got a mini cut. Remember, I think you should mini cut once you hit 12%. And that isn't really true. I say 12%. People grossly underestimate their body fat percentage. People are like, oh, I'm probably like 15%. They're like 25%. They're fat as fuck. They're fat as fat. Italy. What? There's such a lag. I have no idea. You guys have to put what you're referring to because I'm not going to remember because there's such a lag. How much does it cost to let you observe my recent blood work? We'll do bloods in 2 days. Well, I'd rather do your blood work because every time someone does their own blood work, it comes back wrong. Even if I give them the list, their doctor still fucks it up. But for a consult with me is $199. If I order your blood work, it's $550. But it's right. Do you have planned cheat meal for Texas? I've been thinking about Texas barbecue a lot. Yeah, I was expecting this is what's going to happen. In my experience, you don't want to count on a waitress when you're hungry to have your first cheat meal in 6 months because I'm going to lose my shit and make the bitch cry if she fucks up my food. So what I'd rather do is go back to the hotel, take a shower, and I will have already bought food, like stuff that's not necessarily filthy dirty, but something that's kind of like a victory meal so that night, Friday night, I have a meal. I have like a 4-course meal planned that's stuff like CPK pizza, or I could order delivery pizza, Velveeta shells and cheese, stuff like that. And then in the morning, I have a breakfast planned. And then we're going to be working at the pro show for the open class all day at the Valhalla booth. Then Saturday night, once Loring's done working too, and I've already rehydrated and my body can absorb food, that's when we can go out and have like a real meal, like Texas barbecue, or go to Texas de Brazil, or do something like that. I'm not super ravenous and emotional about my food, and I can act like a person and be polite to people. And then Sunday, we have the whole day to party and do whatever. I expect to have like 3 semi-clean sheets, but the total amount of calories will be lower than maintenance. So even though I'm eating higher fat than normal, it'll actually be a fat loss day. Just 3 solid meals rather than 6 small ones. And then the diet really starts for the Masters World Championship on Saturday. I'll probably eat a meal at the airport. I mean, I bought a first class ticket on the way back so that I could get the gourmet fucking meal on the flight because I don't give a fuck. It was $150 more. If I took myself to a 4-star restaurant around here, it'd be $150 just to go by myself. So just the baggage is $70, and the meat that brings the cost of $180 down to $110. So you're paying $110 for a really nice meal. Plus you get to sleep and have your feet up and stuff, and have a seat that's big enough for you. I just prefer, if there's not a huge markup on first class, flying. I'm not flying first class on the way there because I can't eat the food, so it's a waste of money. So that was the answer. Is I definitely want to get some pizza at some point that weekend. And then everything else I'd rather eat at home. Like the pizza places in here are better, I'm sure, than Texas pizza. Barbecue ribs in Texas are really good, but Happy's pizza here is better than any ribs I've had anywhere else. Like all my favorite cheap foods are here in Detroit. So there's nothing like my favorite Chinese food, my favorite Thai food, my favorite everything's here. So I don't feel like the need to eat dirty there just to do it. Let's see here. Do you think isolation work for rear delts is necessary? Or do pulling exercises do enough? Israel says that pulling exercises is enough. When Israel met me, the very first thing he said is holy delts. And someone said, could you take a picture of us? And then he was like, I think this guy's delts could take a picture of you. My opinion was every push day, I would start with rear delt pec deck. And then I'd end every back day with more rear delts. If I have a delt day, I would do rear delts, then middle delts, 2 different exercises for middle delts, then a pressing exercise or 2 pressing exercises for front delts. I never did isolation for front delts. And a lot of people consider my delts to be one of my better body parts. But my rear delts, that's what I say, is either reverse pec deck, reverse cable crossover. I just started doing reverse cable crossover laying on the floor. That made it way easier to stabilize. Kind of like doing face pulls when you're laying on the floor is easier to stabilize, or doing Y raises when you're laying on the floor. It just is. It takes the front delt out of it to do the most of them that way. Yeah, for real, Gyros was a really guilty pleasure of a lot of people. So like I even have nightmares kind of like ordering it and coming out wrong because I don't like really greasy bread. I like when they just warm the bread in the microwave and then put the gyro meat on the gyro and then the tomatoes, and I like lettuce on it. And then I would rather dip it in the tzatziki sauce than have them put it on for me. Or if they'll have put it on for me, I'll have them bring extra because I just want it to be the way I want it. You know, I mean, if you're going to be blowing 30 grams of fat on a fucking sandwich, you want it to be right. And I don't trust someone else's to make a decision as how I should eat. Got to pop 200 Winnie daily last couple days. That was the plan, was that the shots are going to come out somewhere between Monday and Thursday. And the Winstrol was going to go in. I mean, if it was up to me, I would err on the side of caution and take the shots out Monday before I get on the plane, basically. Just not even take injectables with me for the show, and then just take Winstrol if for the time in between. And then if I'm flat, take Anadrol to replace the aldosterone from the testosterone that isn't there. Then the assumption would be that after the show that Friday night, I have to remember, hey, I'm competing in 3 weeks, so I have to go right back on that after the show. But to make sure I don't have any inflammation or bumps in the skin, just drop in the injectables on Monday. A month ago, my ferritin was measured to be 8. Product of years of regular blood donation. Would you suggest an iron supplement to bring up? No, you don't absorb. You don't absorb iron that way. Just you have to have red meat every day, even if it's 4 ounces. Let's see, Doc. What do you think about fasting and injecting GH every 4 to 6 hours, like a 1 to 5 IU per shot for lipolysis? That's pretty standard. That's what I've been doing for years. If you watch any of my videos, I talk about that. Any of my GH videos. Yeah, I go 2 in the morning, 2 about 6 hours later, and I use 18 before bed. Do you see any use case for EQ? Not intended for myself. I just want to pick your brain. To me, EQ is just a cheaper, way cheaper version of Primo if it works like an AI. That it's a relative, it could be a neutral anabolic, or it could be an AI, or it could be a mild AI. It depends on you. Just like Masteron and Primo are both DHT derivatives, but they're both basically either neutral or they're AI that's also anabolic, whereas EQ is going to work a lot like Primo. Both of them are going to raise your red blood cells. Both of them are going to make your liver enzymes go up. Supposedly, EQ is worse for your kidneys. But if you've got bulletproof kidneys, it doesn't matter, right? So what I was going to do is once I plateau in this off season, let's say I'm running 700 testosterone in order to get my estradiol up to 100 and my DHT at like 85. Then I'm running, let's say 400 a day Masteron. Okay. After I plateau, I'm going to swap out 300 of that 400 Masteron for 300 EQ. So the total amount stays the exact same. It stays 3.5 grams a week, but I'm swapping out 2.1 grams of Masteron for 2.1 grams of EQ. If that doesn't crush my estrogen, then EQ is not an AI in me. If it crushes my estrogen, I can just raise my test up to like 1,000 or 1,400, right? And then the DHT hopefully doesn't get that high because the topical testosterone ends up crushing my, it gets in your bloodstream and it crushes the DHT in a much more mild way. So that's the point, is I'm going to try it. And based on the cosmetic looks, I have a feeling it's not going to be any better in any way. It's not going to have any difference. It's just going to be an AI. It's going to be, EQ is going to work like Primo or a milder version of Primo. Because in me, Primo is extremely strong AI. Black Kaiser, sir, I may know how many liters of water do you peak week and do you cut water on show day? It depends. It's not that simple. Right now I'm drinking, I think, 10 liters a day. Yeah, less than 11 days out. Kluge, never heard of Butcher Balm, but thank you for that. Yeah, so Butcher Balm has the PPC peptide in it. If you watch my video on Butcher Balm, you'll understand. Dave B, Dave B. Todd, do you often see GH put T4 and T3 below range? No, what it drives up T3 by, it helps convert the T4 into T3. So your T3 will go up, but your T4 will go down. Yeah, that 60 is the wrong T3. That's why I always order people's blood work myself. That looks like something stupid like uptake or total. All that matters is free T4 and free T3. Here. Butcher Balm is the first scientifically formulated transdermal combined with the healing powers of, yes. And it's amazing. Works so well. Overdid reverse curls and hammer curls to the point I gave myself tennis elbow. Hurts like a bitch. It's been 4 months avoiding those lifts, but not better. I don't think it will help if you're injecting the tendon, but Butcher Balm would help. It's topical. It's better from what I've seen. I've never gotten results like this from actual injectable BPC and TB500, but the Butcher Balm helps a lot. So using exogenous insulin like Lantus causes insulin resistance. Using super physiologic levels of exogenous insulin like Lantus causes insulin resistance. Not replacement doses. People have a very hard time understanding hormone replacement therapy. It's just, even though the words are in English and in a sequence, for some reason, people are like, I'm using TRT. And like, what are you using? 500 tests. I'm like, that's not replacement, fucktard. That's like quadruple what a replacement dosage is. That's supplementing. Whatever. I'm boosting it. That's not what boosting it is either. Boosting it is a natural increase to what your body naturally produces. So using, okay, ready to answer this. Hey, Todd, regarding body fat percentage estimation, is DEXA best for? Nope, DEXA sucks. I've lost 185 pounds, no longer a fat ass, but extra skin makes it very hard to judge. Yeah, there's no good way of telling your body fat percentage. Just using the eyeballs. If you got a shredded ass, you're ready for the stage. Kratos, can a mini cut be done with a 25% calorie deficit while cruising, making all muscle mass? Probably not. I would never cruise or do maintenance volume of training on an extreme diet like a 25% calorie deficit. I'm on like a 45% calorie deficit, and it's a miracle I'm hanging on to this much tissue. Yeah, so I should have had that response. Like, good, congratulations on losing the weight. For some reason, I never think of that. What's your take on injectable carnitine? Use it every day. How do I get stuff? Well, if you need money, you're not going to get stuff. I need to be jacked. No, you don't. You need to use punctuation and money. All right. Douglas Roach, thanks a bunch. Did this shit naturally, and damn, I didn't realize that the skin would be left over, but that's all worth in the end. What do you think was going to happen to the skin? How do you not realize that there's going to be loose skin after you lose 185 pounds? Love Gyros. I do too. Consider the skin battle scars. I don't know. A number under 200, probably 185. I look pretty good between 185 and 192 right now. I can't narrow it down any closer than that. I'd love to see 220. Currently down to 250. Okay, we're still going on about this. How to differentiate between water weight gain and fat during off-season massing. Weight jumped like crazy and hasn't gone down. Not sure if it's water or fat. It's probably fat. Whichever is worse, that's what's happening. What foods will I carb up with? So, because basically use the foods you've been eating to carb up with. The problem is my carbs have been so low. All I've been eating is instant mashed potatoes that I make into a paste to hold together peas and carrots, so that the peas and carrots aren't just rolling around my plate. They're like a blob. So you're like, that sounds disgusting. It's delicious when it's the only thing you get to fucking eat. So I eat chicken, peas and carrots, and the peas and carrots are like glued together with some mashed potato blob. I'm able to take like 22 grams of powdered flakes in a cup of water and turn it into a paste. So what the fuck am I supposed to eat? I'll probably be having rice and cream of rice if I can't get in all the rice, or Crispix, which is rice cereal, or Cocoa Krispies if I wanted sugar to shut off hunger. Because if you have real sugar, your real insulin is part of the insulin molecule is a C-peptide. When that gets cleaved off, the C-peptide drives down hunger. So in the off season, you inject insulin because it makes you hungrier and it processes the carbs. But in the same off season, if you eat sugar, natural insulin is released, which then makes you not hungry anymore. So you have to use starches and insulin to load, not use actual sugar. And then you can shut off the hunger that way. But I'm getting beside the point. So rice-based carb sources for carbing up. So a really simple thing I came up with for the next show, because it's, like I'll be driving there, checking in, getting painted, going to sleep, waking up, getting painted, getting on stage. There's no reason to stay longer, and the hotel doesn't even have microwaves. So what I could do is pre-make rice cake and tuna fish sandwiches, or just make a whole bunch of tuna fish and then bring rice cakes and then eat the rice cakes and the tuna fish to get my protein, and then just have almond butter and rice cakes. But if I wanted fat and carbs, or just have cream of rice with berries. You can put a lot of stuff in cream of rice. You can put in almond butter to slow the cream of rice down. You can mix in protein powder if you can digest protein powder. I don't digest protein powder very well. But yeah, the meals will probably be chicken and rice, or tuna and Ezekiel bread as like that entree. And then the dessert will either be dry cereal or cream of rice. And you can always add sugar to stuff, which is easy. You can put maple syrup on oatmeal. You can put maple syrup on cream of rice. You could put Hershey's chocolate syrup on cream of rice. There's ways of driving your carbs into the thousands, no problem, especially if you're going to be injecting insulin to make yourself hungry. Do you stick to one preferred diuretic on peak week? No, but diuretics are for retards. Nobody uses those unless that they're fat and they think that. I mean, there are very few people use diuretics. If anyone knows what they're doing, that the only diuretic they use is hydrochlorothiazide, and they use like 6 milligrams, maybe. Like Jansen says he uses an eighth of a diazide the night before, so 2 days before, so he can practice peaking them. That would just make me not sleep. I'd just be peeing all night. Get a man lift. I don't know what that means. If you can't see the difference between water, fat, and the off-season, it means you're just too fat. Yep, for sure. Wish there's a way to toggle these. Did I ever fix my plantar fasciitis? Yeah. I tried BPC in the heel and it was not pleasant considering Butcher Bomb. This is what I mean, is everyone's just like got this fucking knee-jerk reaction. The solution's always drugs. Yeah, I just massaged my foot and had massage therapists work on my foot and did physical therapy exercises, which wasn't helpful. And then had needling done on my calf muscles and started doing yoga. And then my calves and my foot's better. Recommended rate of loss during off-season mini cut. Want to get back in massing, but need to quickly tighten up. Like 2 pounds a week, 1% of your total body weight a week. So if you're 100 kilograms, 1 kilogram. Just chilling out, bumping the algorithm. Thank you. Kratos. I don't know what the thanks for the clarification. So you're going to recommend mini cut to be done only while blasting or in a smaller deficit around suffice while cruising. So there's 2 reasons to do a mini cut. One is you're not hungry and your insulin sensitivity sucks, in which case just pull back to maintenance calories for a while and let your body recomp. You don't have to change gear or nothing. And then the other reason is you're just fat. Like, holy shit, you're like 15% body fat or more. Then you need to I would just go on a fucking diet. I wouldn't even call it a mini cut. Diet all the way down to like 8% and then start a new off season. Because when you say mini cut, it's too much pressure. Thank you, sir. I wish you more subs and a victory for your upcoming show. Me too. I mean, I'm going to consider getting top 5 and 212 at the Texas Pro to be a victory. Now at Masters World Championship, I'm shooting for first in both 212 and in Classic because I think that I'm competitive for my age. And I mean, obviously, if I weighed 176 the other day, win 12 show is pretty preposterous, but I can fill up to like 190, and I think that would look really good. But, you know, I know who's doing the 212 shows and open. I mean, like the Texas Pro is going to be a hard show. So cracking top 10 is good. My goal is to crack the top 5. Do you believe there is any benefit to megadosing L-carnitine? Alex Kekal said 3 grams injectable today worked to grow unders. Yeah, Alex says some pretty crazy shit. I don't know anyone who corroborates it. I don't have any experience with Mira Begaron. Did you see P-Tour's 212 competitor from Turkey? Yeah, that 21-year-old kid. Yeah, it made me look like fucking shit. That guy was amazing. Yeah, when I was in Turkey, I was surprised at how many people were impressed by me. Like, you get a lot of positive attention when you're outside the United States being a bodybuilder. So that's it. This, Texas Pro. I'm going to do as many of these as I can do. You got the farm Genotropin. Every pharmacy in Turkey you can buy Genotropin cheap. Opinion on T-ball. I don't really have a T-ball opinion. I think the reason why the MMA guys use it is because they can clear it from your system so fast. Where do people get albuterol and epinephrine for a cut? From the internet. Any advice for someone looking for move to U.S. from Europe? What are some bodybuilding friendly cities? Okay, really simple. Dallas, Tampa, pretty much anywhere in Florida or Texas, they've got a show every weekend, even for the pros. That you don't want to move anywhere in the United States if it's not Florida or Texas, because those are the last American places left. The whole rest of the country is getting taken over by the left, and they're just ruining it. They're even trying to ruin Texas because all the people left California because it got too leftist, and then they moved into Texas, and now they're voting like leftists. It's like, you stupid fucks. Luckily, they all moved to like Austin. Austin is like the litter box of Texas. Opinion on Proviron, especially on TRT. Proviron's pretty stupid. All it does is protect Masteron and Primo. That the Proviron goes inside the cell, binds to the 3-alpha HSD, and then the 3-HSD is used up, and it can't degrade the Masteron and the Primo. So Masteron and Primo are better at surviving 3-alpha HSD than actual DHT is. But because Proviron is nothing but actual DHT, it's like you're throwing. The thing is, though, you're rather than just using more Masteron because it's cheaper, which is the logical thing, to saturate that enzyme, you're using a really expensive drug, Proviron, to saturate the enzyme so that the cheap Masteron can make it through. It just doesn't make any sense. What about Vegas? I see a lot of bodybuilders. There's a lot of people who live in Vegas, specifically Henderson, but there's not a lot of shows in Nevada. If you're going to compete, there's shows in Texas and Florida every fucking weekend. Whereas in Nevada, sometimes there's the Olympia. I don't even think there is a Las Vegas show, not a pro show. Trump 2024. I don't know how that's significant to this conversation. We're going on an hour. I'm biased, but Greenville is a killer city and it's cheap. Tons of killer bodybuilding gyms, and you can drive to Florida and compete. Living in Florida is expensive and miserable. That may be so, but I've never been there. I'm just, if you're going to move somewhere, I would think Orlando or Dallas would probably be the place to go, because Orlando's got the Magic Kingdom and Dallas has pretty much everything. I'll be right back. What are your thoughts on IGF-1 LR3, also IGF-1 DES? I've seen good results with LR3. I've never seen good results with LR3, but I have with DES. I used it intramuscular, intra-workout. What do you think about the trap bar deadlift? I like it. I would prefer, yeah, I mean, it's a better grip than the bar in front of you. The thing is, it's kind of hard to force it to be an RDL. I mean, not an LDL, because the bar is not out in front of you, but it guarantees it's not your lower back. So if your primary goal is not hitting the lower back, then use the trap bar. If your primary goal is hitting the hamstrings, but at the expense of also getting some overflow stimulus to the lower back, then you could use traditional. Not a bodybuilder, but competitive jiu-jitsu athlete. I've used Masteron with great success with low test. Good. Glad, man. You do make politically incorrect statements, which we find hilarious. Yeah, I mean, normal human beings aren't into the woke bullshit. Only fucking weirdos are. Todd is not afraid to speak his mind. No, I've never been. Most Gen Xers aren't. Most people my age don't give a fuck. Your honesty and harsh opinions are great. Analogies are epic. Thanks, man. I don't feel like it's my birthday and I'm getting like all these greeting cards. Like, thanks, guys. Do you feel weaker or get muscle cramps cramps on metformin. I don't like it. I got diarrhea. Like I had perfect digestion. I added metformin to control appetite, and it just fucked up my digestion and gave me and it makes it harder to do vacuums. So posing is harder. Wearing a belt when you hit back isn't fun either. I'm Irish and not lucky. I was basically born an alcoholic. Was it something we said? I think I left the dog outside. What? Well, it doesn't matter. She's alive. She's barking. She's not dead yet, so it's fine. If we don't do a Todd at Disney video during your turn to Florida, we have fun with the Balm. Fuck that. I want to go to Hogwarts. Dude, I'm not fucking kidding either. Like, the Florida Pro is the 7th. Dude, on the way back, dude, Orlando trip. Fuck. I want to do it so bad. I want to go so bad to Harry Potter. I mean, to Hogwarts. I want to get a wand. Probably get a dragon bone wand with a phoenix feather. Oh, I didn't say. I'm sorry. This is what I was responding to. All right. Let's see here. Thoughts on metformin repairing the imbalance between leptin and ghrelin. Took for a few months during my off season, and now that I'm cutting, I have noticed it's way easier to adhere to my diet. I've heard of that too. I don't know that it's real. I didn't find that it was easier to adhere to my diet on metformin. I previously had major issues with cravings and diet adherence. Usually that's when people's calories are too low. You know, what's low for one person is too low for another. Don't get fat. Have longer preps, and you don't have to go into such a deficit that you cheat on your diet. Planning a trip to Universal. I'm so down. I liked Fear Factory in like 93 when they did the Mortal Kombat soundtrack. I don't know if that still counts. My daughter broke her wand within an hour at Universal. Well, hopefully I'm more responsible than your child. How much are the blood panels coaches usually want you to get? I don't understand this question. My panel is $550, and my panel is the best panel there is, and it's the cheapest price. I think Merrick's like a shittier panel, and it's $800. Most coaches don't know how to read blood work. That's what you use doctors for. If chum, I don't know what that means. What would you recommend for IGF-1 DES protocol? How would you make sure the IGF-1 stays local and not go systemic? I don't think you would. I did 25 micrograms bilaterally before I hit that body part. So if I was doing biceps and triceps, I would do 25 bilaterally and then do my sets of biceps, then go back to the car and shoot 25 micrograms bilaterally in the triceps and then go hit triceps. Before push day, I would hit middle delts. Suggestro. I don't know how to say that fucking name, dude. That looks Central European. That looks like something you'd find in Prague. Sup, Todd? Sup? I don't know how to say your name. Graham. Glad I finally caught one of these shows live. If someone was on HRT protocol of I'm Mexican. And I bet your food is delicious. Sorry, man. All I think about is food now. I gave up on pussy like 12 weeks ago. Don't even like porn. Girls aren't even hot. All I think about is food. Unless I'm going to cook it and it's going to smell like bacon, I don't give a fuck if it's alive or not. Not Mexican. Oh, dude, what's so funny is that every Mexican I know likes this joke, and everyone I know who's a white woman doesn't. It's like, so like if it's a Mexican woman, I'm just like, they're like, I can't do anymore. I'm like, are you Mexican or are you Mexican? They'll laugh. If it's a white person, then they don't think it's funny. If are you American or American? And then they'll be like, oh, that's not funny. Are you an African or an African? You know, like, I'm not from Africa. No one ever acts like that either. It's only white people that get upset. Only white women get upset. And Kurt. Okay, I think 500 milligrams of metformin crushed my E2. No, I've never seen that before. It's like I think metformin stole my lunch money. I think metformin got my daughter pregnant. It's like the shit people come up with. It's like tacos, bro. Tacos. I want some pastor, carne asada, pollo, chorizo. Carnitas. There's so many tacos I want. I want all the tacos. Hold on. When does IGF-1 peak after GH injection? And how long does it last? Takes about 2 hours, lasts about 30 hours. Personally, carb cycle or calorie cycle? Carb cycling is calorie cycling for the most part. But no, I don't replace the carbs I take out on a low day with fat unless it's in the off season. And that's just like I'll program in the dirtier cheat meals on an off day because I wouldn't be running insulin on an off day, and I'd keep my carbs down really low so that I'm in a calorie deficit that day, so that even though if I'm eating more fat than I should be, I'm burning the fat for fuel rather than storing it. So like if my maintenance calories was 4,000, I might go high day, medium day, high day, medium day, high day, medium day. And then on the off day, might go 3,000 calories. But that 3,000 calories, I had 2 meals that were 1,500 calories. Like I woke up and had like a pizza. And then I went out and then went home and took a nap and slept and then went out and had Mexican that night. And I ate whatever the fuck I wanted twice that day. And I drank protein shakes to fill in the protein deficit if there was one. But I mean, in that case, a whole pizza's got to have at least 100 grams of protein. And if you go out and have like 5 or 6 tacos and beans and rice, that's going to have at least 100 grams of protein. So you're getting at least 200 grams of protein that day, even if you're having 3,000 calories. And it gets 2 of those cheat meals out of the way. And either you love the cheat meal and you want to have it again, or you don't like it and it's not as good as you remember, and you can just cross it off the list and it's out of your life for good. So if you have 1 or 2 cheat meals a week, but this is one way of doing it, but that's not something I would do with a client because most of them, they're not going to be able to look at a plate of food and eyeball what's in there. But you said you personally, so that's why I answered not what I do for clients, but what I do for me. Let's see. Bet you watch a ton of Eric the Electric videos these days. Nope. I can't concentrate very good. So I can't really watch shows that have plots. I can just be disappointed with the last 3 episodes of House of the Dragon. Glad I finally caught the live show. If someone was on HRT protocol of 210 test, 2 GH, and 140 mastron, how would they recommend they get blood work done? They would call me and I would order them blood work. This is funny because Graham was a former client, so he knows that. Oh, you're giving me a low underhand pitch. You're like, let's get Todd some business. Let's set him up to answer. I love when people give me a low underhand pitch. I'm like, you know me. Why are you acting stupid? And it's like, no. You're the stupid one. I'm trying to help you make money. All right. Michael Anthony Aiello. Why the 3 names? I can't get over that. Why do some people say test is test, but when using different types of tests, I can feel a major difference, albeit positive, negative? I don't know. Because the test short acting hit harder, so for drug addicts, it gives them more of a pleasurable effect. Do you think that berberine's negative side effects against hypertrophy are significant? I don't know that they exist. Advice on someone visiting states for first time. Any specific grocery stores I should buy food at? Well, it depends where you're going. So there's Walmart everywhere. So it's easy if you just standardize all your shopping to Walmart because you can go to a Walmart anywhere. Now, local chain grocery stores that are also mega stores are things that have like appliances and clothes, video games, and probably babies in the trash cans at the bathrooms, or Meijer or Kroger in the like Michigan area. There's Publix is in Florida area. H&M is in Texas. Safeway is in California and also Hawaii. Benjamin Franklin, I think, is in Pennsylvania. Ohio has Kroger and Meijer. But shit like that, yeah. I always get everything from Amazon except for stuff that rots or is wet because it weighs too much. And then I usually go and get that from a Walmart. Agnosyme, how much fiber do you typically get in your diet? I get 32 grams a day right now. Had Mexican that night. Oats have a lot of fiber, man. I need money. Help. Can you put me on TRT? You can book an appointment and we can see based on blood work what you need. It's not a plotted show, just a dude doing calorie changes and stuff. I don't know what that means. I need you to stop. Let's just get rid of this person. All right. What do you think about the relative efficacy of salbutamol versus Clen? I don't see why it'd be any different except for the half-life. Matthew, sure. The European mind cannot grasp the number of grocery stores we have in the States. Okay, that's funny. I don't think people grasp how fucking enormous the United States is and how many options we have and how our lives are so much easier than everyone else in the world, but how we have no patience for slow people. Like Europe is hot, the air conditioning sucks, and everyone's fucking slow. I guess I'm a drug addict. Thanks, Todd. I don't remember what you were talking about. Yeah, but anyone who talks to me about their feelings, I just think that they're a drug addict. Because you shouldn't be taking drugs based off of how you feel. You should be taking drugs based off of what they do. Like, that's how people get to be drug addicts. Is they take drugs because they feel good. Okay, here it is. Going to New York, I will be training at Powerhouse Gym. I have a Trader Joe's next to the Airbnb. So Trader Joe's is a Canadian company that has mostly organic food. It's pretty bougie, and it's kind of got this woke-ass culture to it. Their food is reasonably priced, and it's got this bohemian. You'll get whatever you need at a Trader Joe's, but you're going to do better at an Aldi's. And Aldi's is like a German version of Trader Joe's. So it's like the alt-right version to Trader Joe's extreme left. So if you don't like the super liberal, stuck-up, snot-bar-nose at everyone who isn't eco-friendly with a billion genders people that go to Trader Joe's, if you just want some people who I want to spend the least amount of money to get the most amount of food in the shortest amount of time, the right-brained alpha type personalities, they're going to be going to Aldi's. Let's see here. Hey, Todd, have you tried Adderall? No. I mean, I did 5 milligrams like 15 years ago. Speaking of drugs. Thank you, Todd, for all the info. Much appreciated. You're welcome. They are owned by the same family, Trader Joe's, Aldi's. No way. No way. So they basically just marketed both populations. Like we'll get the leftists with Trader Joe's and we'll get the alt-right people with Aldi's. That is so funny because they're going to get everybody's money that way. Just have two stores, the red store and the blue store. That's so smart. Going by that logic, if every compound you use made you feel like straight shit. All right, somebody needs to get time out. It sounds like they got a problem. They want to make it about them. This isn't your show. No one gives a fuck what you think. It's like, we make you feel like straight shit. Would you still be a bodybuilder? Playing devil's advocate, respect. Oh, okay. He said respectfully. So now it's not annoying. It's like, look, if you're intentionally playing devil's advocate, you're annoying. It's like, yes, bodybuilders feel like shit all the time. I don't know. I'm not even going to read that fucking bullshit question. Let me try to read this again. Going by that logic, if every compound you use made you feel like straight shit, would you still be a bodybuilder? Yes, of course. Every compound does make me feel like shit. I feel much better if I'm not taking drugs. Is it weird if my mass turns? Yes. What? Who the fuck would think that that's normal? It's pretty stoked on your pre-workout. Amazing doses and doesn't taste like chemicals like most companies. Top notch. Thanks, man. Yeah, it tastes so fucking good. I actually drink it just to drink it. It's like one company owning Fox and CNN, pretty much, which I think Rupert Murdoch does do. Whoa. I mean, woohoo. Finally caught you on live. Love the content, man. Keep it up. You're welcome. All right. Oh, God. This is going to be a long one. Good afternoon. We had a preface. We actually, without a capital G. I'm having elbow pain right now. I do high reps now and try to never go heavy. Do you have advice on avoiding joint pain? Also, there are compounds I use to help. Usually, you just have to fix your form and rotate out stale exercises. Does leveraging non-genomic activity of a drug, taking antivirus sublingually, reduce genomic expression of the compounds? I mean, in theory, it can't be in two places at once. It can't be in the cytosol and not in the cytosol at the same time. It's not like Schrodinger's Anavar. I actually have a ton of questions, but I don't want to bombard you. And I'm actually go ahead from you. I mean, that sounds like more of a consult call. You got a ton of questions. You can have my undivided attention. If IGF-1 LR3 sold at peptide places, the real deal? So many redundant questions. It's like turning into TikTok here. It's like, I've never seen any benefit from LR3. I have from DES. Not really. I'm not really interested in the Joker sequel. I love the Joker. I don't like that version of the Joker. It's too normal. Like, all right. You got a method actor playing a crazy person who dresses like a clown. He ain't the Joker. Jared Leto played a better Joker. Dude, get real GH and stop trying to find a workaround. It's not the same. And that's from a dude who just started GH. Tom's a believer. Austin Shepard. Should you cycle off GH after a while? Or insulin sensitivity good, you can run it extended period of time? Yeah, if your insulin sensitivity is good, fuck it, run it. JK, I had before on proper paper, IGF-1 is so promising. Yeah, it is. Just like girls tell you about them on their first date. So there is no purpose for Proviron on test, only TRT. I don't really see a purpose on TRT. I see no purpose for it. Todd, Schrodinger's Anavar is fucking funny. I'm glad you like that. It can't be in the cell and outside the cell at the same time. Chris Redfield. Man, I want to play VR Resident Evil 4 so bad. Joker sequel looks like a fucking woke crap fest. Pretty much what I didn't say was I'm also not interested in more. Put a chick in it and make it blank. The first Joker was unnecessary, basically copied off Taxi Driver. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. And they even had De Niro in it too for full circle effect. Can you be too sensitive to insulin? I think you're too sensitive to everything, man. Harry Hussein, is Clen only eliciting anti-catabolic effect when the stimulation of the beta receptors on muscle is sufficient to cause the shakes? I wouldn't say yes, but it's only anabolic while it's causing the shakes. But you're in the right direction. Very cool guy, 345. Would you rather the ability to see 10 minutes into the future or 150 years in the past? 10 minutes in the future, because then I can bet on stuff and make money. I could solve mysteries like 150 years ago to set spirits, restless dead spirits free, but I can make millions if I can see 10 minutes in the future. Like you just watch NVIDIA, and when it's about to dip, you like sell it right beforehand, and then it dips, and then when it's about to go back up, you buy it again, and it's just fucking just use Cash App and just make millions in the span of a week with NVIDIA and being able to see in the future. If your insulin sensitivity is bad, you need to cut anyway, not stop taking GH. Pretty much, yeah. But you understand that they buy into this nonsense that everyone gets every side effect. So they think that GH automatically causes insulin resistance, which isn't true. Just like they think that DECA automatically requires CABA and PRAMI. Navid SGS. Besides the basic CMP and CBC, what imaging or blood work should you do once in a while for a complete picture of your health? GGT for liver, cystatin C for kidneys, ApoB for cholesterol, estradiol to see what your test is doing, DHT to see what your test is doing, IGF-1 to see what your GH is doing, fasting insulin to see so we know whether you're creeping up on the problem. These videos of these live Q&As, first one I made in a real time. That's why I would say that, Kratos. My God of War, you. All right, thanks so much, my man. Rock on and start putting on announcements of your lives. Fuck that. It's like, do you have any idea how disorganized I am? Dude, I have a staff of like 8 people, and they're just like, yeah, fuck it. It's like juggling slime, trying to get me on track. I've got like 3 editors that are on a salary not working because I don't make content. Like, just throwing money in the toilet. It's like, do you take and cholesterol medications to keep ApoB and LDL suppressed? Nope, I don't really believe in medications. I believe in good diet. Just cardio and good diet, and your cholesterol should be fine. When in a calorie deficit, does taking GH for the lipolysis twice during the day affect increased rate of fat burned? Huh? No, that doesn't. This whole total thing over the day, that's what they in studies, but they studied a bunch of fat asses. That doesn't even make sense. No, it's like when you dip into a low calorie state, muscle protein synthesis stops and you start burning fat. When you dip into a calorie surplus, you stop burning fat and you might go into muscle protein synthesis. So in the off season, you want to stay in a calorie surplus 24 hours a day, but then that's going to drive up insulin resistance. So you can't stay like that forever. So that's why you would do carb cycling in the off season, is you'd have days where you're stimulating growth and days where you're allowing some of the fat to burn off so the inflammation goes down so that you have the insulin sensitivity. You can get around that with using the insulin, but apparently Kurt says no one's allowed to use insulin. And so that means that it's just true. All right, let's see. Totally. If you're doing cardio and eating right, your insulin sensitivity should be fine. Don't be lazy. Yeah. Any point running 50 milligrams of Anavar and 50 milligrams of Winstrol, or should you just for prep? It depends what you're trying to accomplish and how you respond to those drugs. For me, Anavar is a pre-workout strength booster when taken sublingually. Winstrol is something to harden up the last week before the show. That's my opinions on what you do with them. I've done preps where it was 12 weeks of Anavar. I've done preps where it's 12 weeks of Winstrol. I've seen almost no difference. Fasted insulin is very good. All right, Chris Redfield, how would you treat low estrogen, single digit, in a man on TRT without just throwing D-ball issue? Increases testosterone. Can't believe that's a serious question. I would never throw D-ball in any situation because you don't get estrogen, you get methyl estrogen. Hey, Todd, you always stream your show at this time? Nope. Whenever the fuck I feel like, that's when I do it. Or what time do you usually stream? I don't. I just do it. I'm like, I've got the mood to actually talk to people. So I'm going to use this time wisely and provide a service to the public. I could have shot a video about something important, like a topic, but usually if I shoot a topic video, I have to have full mental faculties, and I just happen to have a lot of energy, mental acuity right now, and I wanted to use it wisely by helping people achieve their dreams. Where do you like to see people's fasting insulin? Under 5. Yeah, F time. Don't know what that means. Good shit then, sir. Oh, okay. That's a response to that. I don't know where the fasting C-peptide should be. It should probably match the insulin if they're not injecting it. He streams between the hours of 12 p.m. and 3 a.m. Yeah, that's true. Why do women and natty competitors look so much drier than the rest? Because they don't have to stay full. They're not graded. They're only graded on conditioning. They're not graded on size. So they can just get flat as a bug and it doesn't really bother. And I don't know about what shows you've been to, but most of those women do not look dry. They look like a water bed that had a knife stuck in it. My fasting insulin runs between 1.1 and 1.7. Is that too low? I don't know. I don't know why. No, like what? Why would any amount of fasting insulin be appropriate if you think about it? I mean, you shouldn't have any fasting insulin. I mean, obviously, it's probably normal for there to be trace amounts, but insulin is released by the pancreas to clear carbohydrates. If you were really fasted, then you haven't had carbohydrates in 8 to 12 hours. You're watching Dr. Todd Lee TV, where you can learn some really cool shit. Thank you, Todd. Love these vids and the content. Oh, I forgot to do that. Jaeger lifts. Hunter lifts. I think it's Jaeger is German for hunter. Joseph Minsel. I take my GH upon waking, then eat 25 carbs, 25 protein, pre and post workout. I do my weight training followed by 30 minutes of low intensity cardio in the AM as well. Am I missing out on a fat loss from GH? Yeah. Yeah, you are. Why would you wake up? It's so weird. Why is it so weird? Wake up and do your fasted cardio, then take your first meal, and then lift. What are your 2 favorite exercises to strengthen rotator cuff? I don't know. External rotation, internal rotation against a band? All right. My friend started 10 IU of HGH 2 years ago and was recently diagnosed with cancer. Of course, GH is going to grow existing cancer, but the GH didn't give him cancer. He had the cancer. To the guy that thinks metformin is crusher E2, are you on Cialis? All right. Well, that person's gone now. Where did it go? They're coming so fast. How do I overcome my Superdrug addiction? I don't know. Go to SA meetings. All right. Tips to improve sleep and already taking ashwagandha and magnesium and GH before bed. This is what Josiah got me. They're really good. They help. Very strong. Very, very strong. It's CBD Canna River sleep gummies. What kind of CBD? Fuck if I know. I'm not a high on. I don't know anything about that shit. But you're a doctor. Like, I don't know everything about every field of medicine. Right? Do you believe these golden era guys are really on high fat, low carb diets? I see anyone putting these physiques, not the kind of. I don't care what they do. Like, man, I want to look like a Larry Scott. I'll let you know. My fasting insulin is testing between 2 and 3. My blood sugar has been 100, 200 these last few weeks. Not sure what the cause would be. Means pancreatic insufficiency is what it sounds like. You might have to start using Lantus. I am crushed E2 guy, not on Cialis or anything like that. All right. How many magnesium are you taking per day? I'm doing 800 of biglycinate, which is probably only providing like 400 of elemental magnesium. My throat, it's getting tired. I've been up for 2 hours. The fuck? All right. Favorite bodybuilder right now? Currently competing? Probably Keon. Or Martin Fitzwater or Roman. It depends on what the look you're going for is. Justin Shire. Yeah. Roman thinks I'm biased, and that's why I say that. I'm like, no, I'm only your friend because of how good looking you are. Todd's crashing. I'm dying. No, I'm not dying. I'm fucking fine. Oh. I'm up so early. I'm resetting that sleep cycle like a motherfucker. I'm like, rawr. It's like 7:30. I'm up. I was at the gym at 10 a.m. I'm crushing back. I'm like, oh, there's like people looking at me like, who the fuck is this person? Because they've never seen me. One girl's like, oh my God, it's been so long since I've seen you. Something's different about you. I'm like, it's daylight. And she's like, yeah, so I'm up. And then she's like, oh my God, I've never seen you in the daylight before. Like, I know. Yeah, Justin Shire is amazing in every way, dude. Business, he's funny, he's smart, he trains perfect execution, his physique is perfect. It's entrepreneur, like he's such an admirable guy. Trazodone works the best for my sleep and doesn't mess up with the stages. All right, that's great. Isn't that an antipsychotic? It's like working swing shift sucks. Not really. I normally just stay on the Todd Lee cycle, but because the shows are in the morning, you have to reset your cycle so that you can be up and have a certain look going into it. So like this morning at 8 a.m., I looked pretty fucking good. And then when I lifted at 10 a.m., I looked fucking amazing. And I was like, all right, all I got to do is bring what I brought today to the show. I had 120 ounces of fluids and small meal. And I'm low carb. I'm flat, but I still look fucking amazing. Hard and dry. Twisted titanium. I know who you are. Wait a minute. I know who you are. You're the motorcycle guy. I got to remember your name now. It'll come to me. I can always look through my love that you got your supplement line back up and running. Battle Meat and Dragon Teams are always amazing. I hate I cannot anything that anymore. Everything else should go try. I think, yeah, what he's saying is you guys should go to the Valhalla Labs website and try the products. When is your show? August 9th, Texas Pro. Do you build tolerance to GABA? Probably. The only thing you don't build a tolerance to is melatonin and nagging. Take the tank off. Yes, doing cardio while I watch. I don't know. I don't know if people want me to strip for them. I don't know if it's appropriate. Superman, do you believe in adrenal fatigue and any tips? Thanks. Yeah, I do. I don't use caffeine though. The products taste good and work. Yep. I mean, that's what they should do is work and taste decent. I believe I knocked out a cold quite a few times by taking tons of NAC. Wondering what you think about that. Good for you. It gives me heartburn. Keep your clothes on. This isn't the Olympic opening ceremony. Are they worth looking at? I don't know. After I saw Munich and I wasn't impressed with their physiques. Show your conditioning was my point. Looking good. Yeah, I appreciate that, man. I've got that Instagram. That's like Instagrams for pics. I mean, I guess I could do a video with my shirt off. It's just, I don't know if I've got the energy to take this tank top off. I'm repping the Valhalla Labs line. I don't know if it looks good or not. I can't really see when I'm standing up. It's pretty much the same as it's been for 12 weeks. Nothing fancy. My conditioning's not getting better. I'm just getting smaller. No. What? Do a future video on posing. I could do a posing tutorial video. Favorite Olymp. I probably do that. Probably Josiah will film it. Maybe I'll have Josiah interview me and have me teach him what he should look for when I'm posing in Texas, and that'll get released at some point. Favorite Olympic sport? I don't really have one. I don't give a fuck about the Olympics. Height and weight currently. Let's see. Finally made it. I don't know. Out to the show. Do you have a coach, brother? So me and Karina work on everything, and then Roman is what we call also in the picture. Does the AEQ cause anxiety? Some people say it does. I think if it does, it's because it crushes their estrogen. Todd, do you think it's possible, or does it make any sense? Do I think what's possible? Proper nouns, people. What is your IG handle? My name, Todd Lee MD. The Olympics went full woke. The intro was nutty. I heard it had Gojira. Fuck. Finally made it in the Q&A. I'm always working. That sucks. Energy Lips. I know that name. Fuck. I'm so tired right now. It's hitting me all at once. Oh, I got hair. Yay. Oh, man. Yeah, the pre-workout does taste good, and it doesn't sit in your stomach. And that's right. I thought that was you, Ernesto. What's up? Let's see here. Would using higher GH doses would be useless if what the fuck? No, one has nothing to do with the other. 2 hours, you're a beast. I only slept like fucking 3 or 4 hours. Yeah, I don't remember what we were referring to, man. We wore Todd out. He's gonna go hypo. Been on a Gojira kick ever since the Flying Whales is so fucking good. Everything else in the opening was whack. Yeah, dude, I just didn't look. I don't care. When I was younger, I used to care. And then I'd sit there and I'd watch it and I'd be like, this is so boring. This needs a highlight reel. Yeah. Thanks. I mean, I don't know. It's pretty lean. Today I was pretty lean, but it's frustrating because the glutes are not coming in. And I think it's because with the downside of using estrogen in the off season, at least, is that you store fat in certain locations, like around the nipple and the butt. And it took months for my nipple skin to retract. So the butt, it locks, the estrogen locks the fat on the butt, and it's hard to get off. So even though I gotten the fat off the ass a couple weeks ago, the skin's still there and still filled in with water. So if I harden up just right, it'll look amazing. If I don't, then everything will be in but my glutes. But that was the case weeks ago. I could have done Tampa, and I could have done Atlanta. I could have done Chicago. Like, I haven't improved in the past month visually. So I keep waiting for these glutes to come in, not competing, and they may not even come in this year. It might be something like I can't get up to 16, wherever I was, 16% body fat was too heavy. I should have stopped at 12. Yeah, I do look a lot younger with my hair. Appreciate it. Yeah. And then once I get some fat back and water back in my face, it'll even out and I'll look younger. So I'm kind of worn out. It's 2 hours. The questions are slowing down. You guys have hung in there. I don't know how many people total saw this, but it's been a bunch. It's been emotional. I think I only lost my patience with like 2 people, which is good for me. Good for me in any season. Certainly less than 2 weeks out. I still got posing to do. I still got my 3rd cardio session to do, or steps, whatever. I've got 100 grams of protein, 100 carbs left today. I can spread that shit out. And I could turn that into 2 meals. So can't really concentrate on anything. I try to watch the Godzilla versus Kong, but Empire. Boy, is that a fucking worthless shit show of a movie. When do you stretch during a workout and for how long? I usually do yoga, like some type of yoga shit when I get to the gym to loosen up and get ready. And then I might stretch in between sets if it's back or legs. Like to hold stretches for 30 seconds. All right, guys, I'm falling apart. I'm going to get going. Hope you had a good time. I had a good time. May the force be with you.